Hello, everybody. I had a pretty cool idea for a video because I was kind of onto something, and after I wrote the script out, it does kind of sound a little bit like One Piece fan fiction, but I said screw it, that's okay, I'm gonna make the video anyway. I'm gonna try and cut out some other parts, though. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. This is my theory on what the One Piece might be. One Piece, a mystery that has spun in our heads for decades. We all want to know what it is, and we have been told we could guess it based on what we already know. I started this script with a fun little script about Eam. Spoilers on that, by the way. And then things started falling into place. I remember hearing once, specifically, that the One Piece is not going to be a friends you make along the way trope. And why was this stated so specifically? I'm gonna have to lay out a few points before I get to this hypothesis. Because there is a massive underlying theme of strength and friendship and teamwork in this series. No one can deny that. In Arlong Park, Luffy states he would never get anywhere if it wasn't for the help of his friends. In Long Ring Longland, Sanji and Zoro were unable to win if the handicap set upon them in the ball game until they teamed up. And in Thriller Bark, the Straw Hats would never have defeated Oars if it wasn't for their teamwork. By the way, I made an Oars video recently, you should check that out. Anyway, two other important factors about Thriller Bark. One, Gecko Moria threw this notion aside and chose to fabricate a loyal following to do his bidding, which we will come back to in a bit. And two, it was a humorous introduction to fusions. Or was it? Something that I remembered the importance of during the creation of my recent tier list video with Blunted Moon was the fusing ability of Wapple's Devil Fruit and how it could have tied into the story moving forward if you pay attention to the theme of it. We joked what would happen if Luffy and Zoro got put through this process and how ridiculous it would be. Also part of Nightmare Luffy was the amalgamation of different people put into him. Pause. Similar to in Wano, where Luffy was able to continue fighting Kaido due to the wishes of the people giving him power. Due to the wishes of people, giving him power. So where am I going with this? Is the One Piece a cheat code to power using Wapple's Devil Fruit? Maybe, but not likely. In fact, Luffy said it wasn't becoming the Pirate King that was his real dream anyway, but what would come of the title. Now let's go back to that Gecko Moria part, and his choice to throw teamwork aside and fabricate his own followers with his Devil Fruit with the Shadows. Similar to Ace's Devil Fruit versus Akainu's Devil Fruit, what could be a stronger form of this ability? Maybe using shadows themselves to be able to create life forms without the use of a physical body. Well, isn't it strange that the five elders are said to not be Devil Fruit users, are immortal, and resemble amorphous blobs when they transform? They also seem to be used as a team when the first one started to struggle on Egghead. Now why do they all work together so Okay, you're not stupid. I'm suggesting they are beings made by Imu with a powered up version of Moria's Devil Fruit. And there's a twist here that makes it a whole lot more interesting. On top of a main body creating beings with parts of themselves, like Vegapunk was revealed to have done, I believe this fruit also functions similar to Big Mom's fruit, where it takes a part of her to make these creations. I believe these elders are merely puppets made out of parts of Eam. And when they all get defeated, return to Eam, restoring their full power and true form, essentially fusing back into one being and becoming the omnipotent ruler of the world. And what would this form be called? This is when it gets a little fanfiction-y. For some reason, I thought it would be called One Piece. Wouldn't that be kind of fun? But it all ties back into the theme of teamwork. Now, going further into One Piece fanfiction, I could see the Straw Hats in a comedic fashion forcing Wapple to fuse them once they realize the unfairness of the situation. In a way, this would scale power similarly to when Zoro's special mode Ashura gave him more limbs. This would, in a way, make the Straw Hats' own One Piece mode. It wouldn't be a one-to-one recreation, just how the Thousand Sunny was not a one-to-one recreation of Pluton. Upon defeating Eam, whether it's in the Straw Hats' fused mode or they broke apart and beat it kind of like in Dragon Ball Z when they were fighting Boo, they would meet the dilemma of whether or not that counted as obtaining the One Piece, as they would then hold the position the One Piece once held. Rayleigh himself said the truth was something they had to decide on for their own, and I believe that statement would apply to this predicament. However, it would line up perfectly with Luffy's real dream of obtaining the status to do whatever his original dream needed the title for. It's not the friends they made along the way. It's the result of staying right and just in this cruel world, no matter how far down this rabbit hole you go, and coming back out triumphant and fair once obtaining this power. It is the wealth of influence, the following of fame, and the control of power. Gol D. Roger was said to have obtained these things already so to deter people from finding out what the treasure truly was, as having everyone from the Great Pirate era centered on finding a secret treasure located somewhere in the Grand Line was probably a whole lot better than every one of those pirates immediately storming Marija looking for Im, especially before they had anything like the Pacifista. I think they would struggle, and is one of the reasons why they pushed so hard to create this automata army and get rid of the warlords, because it's just going to happen. Everyone's going to find out eventually, and they're going to need a better defense. I mean, and if you want one more plot hole, how would Roger have known it was a fusion, and why was he laughing when he found the One Piece? Well, as well-traveled as they were, and Wapol technically being born into royalty, potentially already having this devil fruit, and laughed thinking maybe his kid would be able to achieve this, knowing that Wapol is about 6 or 7 at this time and not ready for quite a feat. Seems Shanks and Buggy themselves had to stick behind. I don't think this snot-nosed royal could do it either. So, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the One Piece is a fusion? Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Be kind of dumb? It's definitely not what we would expect. So, I mean, it's a theory I haven't heard yet, and I thought maybe you all would like it too. I apologize for posting fan fiction, but have a good day.